that better? Great. I want to welcome everyone here to this athletic presentation for incoming freshmen and transfer students. My name is John Bowler. I'm the athletic director here at Arlington High. This is ending my third year. Before that, I coached the basketball team here for 11 years. And during that time, I also worked at the Arlington Boys and Girls Club for about 21 years. Grew up in Arlington, graduated from here. There's a lot of great changes, brand new auditorium. Microphones aren't working, that's why we have a portable microphone, but it'll be working eventually. But like I said, thank you everyone for coming. We're going to do a quick presentation about athletics, how to sign up, some expectations. And then we have a lot, in front we have all these captains or athletes at Arlington High School. Our coaches are also here. After the presentation, we'll divide up. In here will be all spring sports. Out in the hallway we have fall, winter, and fall in here, winter and spring will be out there. And there should be a coach here for each team, or there'll be a captain or students that were there that can explain sport-specific stuff. If you have questions about athletics or that specific program. That'll be the second part. But the first part, we're just going to talk about Arlington High School athletics. Okay. So first, Arlington High School, we fall under the MIAA. They're our governing body. They have a handbook. We have to follow the handbook with all their expectations. And they service over 230,000 student athletes in Massachusetts. On our website we have the MIAA website homepage and all their student handbook. We have to follow every rule that they have for sports. Arlington High School is in the Middlesex League. So the Middlesex League is divided into two levels. There's the Liberty Division and Freedom Division. The Liberty Division are the top 6 schools by enrollment. That's what we're in. Arlington, Belmont, Lexington, Reading, Winchester, Woburn. And in the Freedom Division, which is the smaller division, it's Burlington, Melrose, Stoneham, Wakefield, Watertown, and Wilmington. In most sports, we play everyone in the Liberty Division twice, and then we cross over and play everyone in the Freedom Division one time. That's the league we are associated with. Our sports offerings. In the fall, we offer football, boys basketball, girls basketball, field hockey, cross country, girls volleyball, golf, cheer, and girls swimming. Winter sports, boys basketball, girls basketball, hockey, boys and girls, indoor track, boys and girls wrestling, boys swim, and alpine ski. And in the spring, baseball, softball, girls lacrosse, boys tennis, girls tennis, boys outdoor track, and girls outdoor track. And gymnastics is, I left it out. Gymnastics is in the winter season. Sorry about that. The coaches, the different sports. This presentation will be on the website, so it gives all the coaches for different sports. On our website, it has their email addresses as well. Winter, spring, winter. Oh, I do have gymnastics there though, right? So all our schedules, once we get to the scheduling part, all our schedules are on Arbor Live. So on our website, we have a site, you just click on it, and it has every level of every sport we have. So it's easy to go to the website, you can click it, you can print it out. This is the most up-to-date schedule. So if there's a change, rain out or something, it always gets instantly updated on this Arbiter Live site. So that's the most up-to-date schedule at all time that we have, and it's on our website. Eligibility requirements to play in sports. So first, we sign up through Family ID. It's on our website. You have to register on Family ID. You have to have a current physical. A current physical is 13 months. A physical is good 13 months from the day you have it. So if you got your physical today, June 16th, it's good till next July 16th. So it's good for 13 months. Impact concussion test, you have to complete it. I'll show you how to get it on our website right now. And there's a concussion course through Family ID that you take. It's about 20 minutes, 25 minutes that you have to take the course online, and then you answer about 8 questions on it. So athletes cannot try out if they're not registered, they don't have a current physical, and they don't have 1, 2, 3, and 4 in. You're not allowed to try out or be on the field. This year, thanks to a lot of hard work by our new superintendent, our CFO, there are no athletic fees this year. All athletes play for free. So it's probably the first time since the early 90s that there's no athletic fees. Very lucky that the superintendent is coming in, is great. The CFO, we worked it out where hopefully this will be a permanent thing for all athletes at Arlington High School. Because in our league of the 12 teams, we'd be the third team not to pay athletic fees. The other teams all pay athletic fees. And registration. So like I said, registration is right online. If you go to our website, we have a registration checklist, and it will say everything you need in order to register for sports. Just follow the checklist. The impact tests, right with registration, there'll be a link for the impact test. Testing link is right there, and then there's a customer code, which is an Arlington High code that when you go on to the impact test, you have to type the code in, and then you'll be able to get registered for the test. Anything else, Meg?
Nope, that's it.
So it's very easy. You take the test online. It's a impact concussion test to see if you take it before the season. If you ever do have an head injury, you retake the test and see if there's any signs of concussion or anything, correct? Perfect. Athletic eligibility. So athletic eligibility, when you are a freshman, your first term, you come in, you're eligible to play sports. After that, after each quarter ends, you need to pass 20 credits, which is like 4 equivalents to like an English, math, history, science. You have to pass 20 credits per term in order to play for the next term. That's for every term during the year. So for next year, when you're a sophomore, eligibility is determined by your full year grade. So at the end of your freshman year, you need to pass 20 credits for the whole year in order to be eligible in September to play. So during the year, you have to be eligible each quarter. To be eligible for the next year, you have to be eligible, your grades for the whole year matter. You have to pass 20 credits for the whole year. Some dates to look at. So right now, our fall registration is open now until August 16th. So you can go online, register in Family ID until August 16th. August 19th is the first day of football tryouts. So football starts August 19th. All the other sports begin August 22nd. And then sometime in early September, we'll have an athletic night in the gym with all students and parents. Attendance in school. The expectation is that if you're playing a sport, you have to be in school all day. You shouldn't be skipping classes. If you miss a day, if you're out sick, you cannot participate in athletics that day. You're supposed to be in class every day for every period. That's the expectations of playing sports. You can't have unexcused absences in order to play. If there's a certain situation where you're out and excused, that would be different. It has to be cleared by myself or the principal. But the expectation is to be in every class every day. A couple of rules the MIAA has, like the bona fide team rule. The bona fide team rule is if you play soccer in the fall, but you're playing in some specific, say, hockey tournament, you need to come to me and get a waiver in order to play in that tournament and be away from your team. So if you're going to miss an Arlington High School event for some type of tournament, you need to get a waiver from me in order to play in that tournament. We do it for a lot of kids, but you have to get the waiver from me. If you don't get the waiver, there's an MIAA violation where if you don't get the waiver, your first offense is you miss 25% of the season. So if you miss, if a team plays 20 games, you're missing a quarter of the season. So you have to get that waiver into me. So in the MIA, I've never had the MIA, turn one down. They approve mostly all of them. I don't know what I've ever did, but you have to get the waivers in. And also, like, if you get one of these waivers to play in a sport and you leave your team, each team has different expectations. Like, if I was the coach and a kid, played in one of these tournaments, missed, got the waiver, perfect. When he came back, there would be some, team expectations where if he was starting, he might have to come off the bench because he missed 2 practices, missed a game. So there are, we definitely, we fill these out, but there's definitely, if you miss time with your team, there could be consequences with your specific team. And then I'm going to have my assistant AD, Rich Thornton, is going to talk about the next few slides.
Okay, the first slide is the chain of communication. During the course of your athletic career, as you move up the ranks, games get more competitive. At the varsity level, you're playing for a state championship potentially, you're trying to have a winning season, all that good stuff. Our coaches are competitive, and things will come up, conflicts could arise, and we have a way to resolve them, all right, through our chain of communication. All right, interscholastic athletics is education-based, so what we try to do, okay, is we try to have our student athletes resolve the conflict themselves. That is our first priority. So if something happens on a team and you're unhappy, the first chain of communication is go to your coach directly. Talk to them directly. They should have an open door policy. They should be receptive to you as a student to voice your concern, and they'll give you their feedback. They might agree with you. They might say, well, this is the way things are, unfortunately, and they might not. But as much as possible, we like to have our student athletes advocate for themselves, okay? Because they're going to have to, as they get older, they go to college, they're going to have to speak up for themselves, they're going to have to, fight for what they want in life, and so this is part of it starts here, all right? If that does not resolve the conflict, the next step is to have a meeting between the athlete, the parent, and the coach. And then the 3 of them sit down and try and hash it out. After that, we would then bring in the athletic director and so forth, going up the chain of command of the school. All right, maybe getting the principal involved and so forth. But hopefully, the conflict can be resolved between the student and the coach. Very important, athletics, very emotional time after a game. Please do not approach a coach immediately after any type of a game. Please wait 24 hours, okay, before any type of communication, so everyone can cool off and level heads can prevail. Different types of conflict resolution. Certain things that we want to know, and there's certain things that we don't want to know. So, things that you do not want to talk about with your coaches, okay? Especially from the public, the parents, okay? Team strategy and play calling. Every coach is different. Every coach has their own philosophy, and we let the coach direct their own team, okay? Playing time. Coach is at practice every day. Coach sees the effort of the student athletes. Coach sees the ability level of everybody, okay? Coach determines the playing time, okay? Same thing with officiating. We won't talk about officials, and we will never talk about another student. So we will never compare one student against another, okay? If there is a conflict, we're only going to talk about your individual student, okay? Things you want to know about, all right? Emotional and physical well-being of your student, okay? The treatment of the coaching staff, physical and verbally, okay? Your athlete's behavior and concerns for your academic performance, okay? If you're struggling in the classroom, please go to your coach. Please come to us in the athletic department and say, we can help you get the academic help you need. And your coach should be open to helping you provide opportunities if you decide to pursue athletics at the college level. And we can certainly, Coach Mr. Bowler and myself can certainly help with that too. Sportsmanship is probably the priority of our department. It really defines who we are. You know, how you act before, during, and after an event sets the tone for our program. It's how we're perceived in the public. It's how we're perceived amongst our other league members, and so forth. And like I said in the beginning, this being kind of an education-based activity, we want to model the behavior for our students that we want our students to model, okay? So stuff like profanity and just arguing with the officials, you know, hollering at them and stuff like that, we want to limit as much as possible, and we want to model the behavior so our students model the same behavior, okay? We want to have integrity and perform and exude a positive positive outlook as much as possible. Fan expectations, I think one thing, since I'm fairly new, one thing I have noticed is during the winter season, our fans travel really well, especially during playoff time. So we want your support, both home and away. We want positive support for our teams and coaches, encouraging all the players on the team, not just those that play the majority of the minutes, but have some encouraging words for everybody. And also, everyone should be monitoring each other and making sure that everyone that's sitting in the stands is exhibiting the type of behavior that we want to have our students exhibit. Okay? And then, above all, showing respect and authority for, you know, all the decisions by game officials and anyone else.
So we talked about the bona fide athlete rule. There's also, MIAA has a chemical health policy that, you know, with students, alcohol, tobacco products, vaping, e-cigarettes, that if you get caught with a chemical health violation, you know, the first offense is you miss 25% of your season. Again, a quarter of your season for most teams. If you get caught a second time, it's 60% of your season. So, you know, part of the MIAA handbook, Arlington High School handbook, you know, all chemical health violations are treated very seriously, and there's, you know, very steep penalties if you do get a chemical health violation. Team expectations, you know, every teacher is different, every coach is different. You know, every coach, you know, has their own set of guidelines, rules that they go by. You know, they don't, and they all in line with the Arlington Public School Student Handbook, Arlington High Handbook. But, you know, all coaches have different guidelines and different rules. So it's important to get to know your coach and know what their expectations are. And the coaches do a great job before the season about, you know, listing their expectations and what they expect from every student athlete, whether it be, you know, what time to be there before practice, you know, what to do during practice, after games. So every coach is a little different, like every teacher you have in school is different, but you have to, you know, learn their expectations and follow all their guidelines. And so, yeah, so thank you. You know, this portion is ending the PowerPoint, which, you know, I think the fun part is going to be talking to coaches and talking to student athletes. On our website, you know, we have everything you need to know at any time. You know, especially the next 2 weeks. You know, next 2 weeks out, I'm here. So if you have a question about how to sign up on Family ID, please email me. Please call me. You know, even email me throughout the summer. The summer, our hours are a little different, but for, you know, for next week and the week after, until July, like I'll be in the office pretty much every day. So please, if you have a question about how to sign up, just come see me. Send me an email, call, and also, like, I'll be here, you know, for the next hour and a half. up here was Rich, our trainer, Meg, if you have any specific questions on anything about athletics. Please don't hesitate to email, call at any time. So like the next part, what we're gonna do is, I think this is the best part for you guys. All our coaches that are here, all our athletes, you know, inside this auditorium, we have like all the fall sports. So I think we have volleyball for girls. It's also the boys coach. Boys and girls swimming is over here. We have field hockey, golf, cross country. Both teams will be in the back. Boys and girls soccer. Football will be up front, cheering here. All the other winter and spring sports, there'll be signs in the hallway where the coaches and any student athlete we have here that's involved in that team will be under those signs. And feel free to ask them questions about their program. Ask all these great kids about their experience at Arlington High. I mean, you know, there's a lot of stuff they could be doing on Thursday. They chose to be here to talk about their sport, to talk about their school. So these kids have a lot of pride in their school and competing. And they've gone through a ton the last few years with COVID, not having seasons, having half a seasons, having to wear masks, not having to. These kids are so resilient, and they're just great student athletes and role models at Arlington High. So please ask them questions. They are the kid. They are on the front line. They know everything about the school. They know everything about these programs. You know, definitely, if you have a chance, to talk to each and every one of them, and the coaches as well. So right now, like coaches, if you want to find your signs, student athletes, you want to find your signs out here, and you can go and parents, everyone, please go and find the coaches and the athletes and go through and talk to them. I'll be up here.
This is 7:30.
Yeah.